Hey, what's up, students? I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying the 70-degree weather outside. It's going to be nice this week, so get outside and stop playing video games and get off Facebook. All right, it's good for you. Get some good exercise. All right. I just want to stop by and give you a few announcements that we have. First of all, this coming Wednesday, a couple days from now, groups are happening, and so we took a break last week since a lot of our leaders were out at a conference, but we're back this week, so make sure you come out this Wednesday from 6:30 to 8, and make sure your parents show up at a timely fashion around 8:15 to come pick you up. Then we start a few ministries. So we've got the Welcome Team, which meets on Sunday mornings. If you have questions, you can contact Eric Berger about that. There's the paintball ministry team, which is going to be starting pretty soon. You can ask Harry Clow any questions you might have about that. And then finally, the media team, which Steven Swarthout is heading up, and it's about doing some video stuff, doing some camera stuff, some photography in our ministry. So got a couple different things you guys have options about, so take a look at that. And then of course, this coming Sunday we're back at it 9:15, going through this series called Where's That in the Bible, and going through the 10 Commandments, locating where else it talks about that in Scripture, and then what that means in our lives. This past week we talked about that. We talked about commandment number 1, have no other gods. And I just want to recap that for you real quick so that we make sure you know as you walk away from Sunday what we were talking about, and hopefully what God was communicating to you this past weekend. We basically said that the first 2 verses of Exodus chapter 20 were like a preface in a book. Sometimes we read them and we zoom right past it. We don't want to, we just want to get to the good stuff. And what I suggested on Sunday was that, man, just like the preface in a book, it sets you up for what's about to come, and you can't move past it. And so those 2 verses say this: and God spoke all these words, which literally he had to say it in a way that these people would listen, all right, that these Israelites would listen, because they had a track record of not listening. And then the second verse says this: I am the Lord your God. I am Yahweh, and that second word we said was Elohim, your lowercase g God, your God. And so what he's saying is I am your personal God, that I love you and I care for you. And it's very important, because later on in verse 3, he's going to tell us have no other gods or no other Elohim. All right? And so it's important that we read that Yahweh, the creator of the universe, is our personal God. All right? And then he reminds us, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. I did this for you. I showed you the way. I pulled you out of a hardship, of some trials and errors, and I've done that for you because I'm the creator of the universe, and I care for you, and I love you. And it's huge, because it just sets us up and lets us know that the next 10 commandments he's about to give isn't to rob us of our joy or to rob us of life, but instead it's to give us life, to save us from ourselves and sin. And we basically said that these other gods, it's kind of like the Coke illustration I used. We went down to a conference near Atlanta, and so as leaders went to the Coca-Cola factory, and we got to the room that was like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, except it was soda, and it had hundreds of different kinds of sodas, maybe not hundreds, but maybe. And basically we talked about how there was different ones from all over the country, and we all know what the original is. It's Coke, right? The original red canned Coke. And what they've done is they've opened up all these different types of styles of soda or water, or they've gotten into the cappuccino industry. They've gotten into the water, the energy drink, all right? And they've tried different flavors all around the world. And as we moved past that section, we got to the end, and there was this private room, or separate room, and all it had was the original Coke products. And the point that we're trying to make here is that there's nothing like the original. There's nothing like Yahweh, Creator God. There's nothing like our God. We can try and we can have all these other gods, and we can go after whatever benefits us in this consumeristic culture. But the bottom line is we know what legitimately is the right thing. And so for us who are struggling and we're running after maybe some false gods in our lives, man, Jesus said it in Matthew 22. He says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. So I just want to encourage you this week, stay focused on Christ. Ecclesiastes says that we have eternity set in our hearts, meaning we've tasted somewhere in our being what they felt in the garden, Adam and Eve, perfection. We've tasted heaven. And so now we're on this earth running after that. And instead of running after just whatever you think benefits you or whatever thinks will fill that void, Jesus says, man, I'll fill the void. God says, I'm your creator and I'm your God. So run towards him. Focus on Christ this week. And next week we're going to talk about idols. So I want you to come back 9:15 this coming Sunday and come check it out. All right, have a good week. See ya.